Hi guys, Abhishek once again with this episode. And usually, I always say if you are watching this, then you have must watch the last one because we are following the continuous thread. So that's better for the understanding. So in the last episode, Parashara is in the full swing of describing the facts about planets, how planets are coming into the life. They are just wandering like us here and there and taking ownership of the fundamental building blocks of the life and the each and every aspects. So he is discussing about the ownership of the planets and very beautifully explaining how things are under the lordship of the planets. In the last episode, we have just dealt with the strength of the planets, like in which direction which planet is getting strength. And now he is telling more about the lordship of the planets. So before going into the detail, I just remember my Gurudev and the Lord of the Lord. Om Agorebhyo te gorebhyo Gora Gora Taribhyascha Sarvatha Sarve Sarvebhyo Namaste Rudra Rupebhyo. Yes. So now Parashara in 14th verse allocating the ownership of different kinds of trees to the planets. So in 40 verse, he is explaining like this to his beloved student, Maharshi Maitreya. Suryorjanayati astulan durbhagan surputrakah क्षीरोपेतांस्तथा चन्द्रः कटुकाध्यानधरा सुता. And in the same fashion, he is explaining about other planets too. Puspavriksam bhrigoha putro gurugyo safalafalau nirisan surputrascha evam geyaha khagadvija. So by these two verses he captured all the 7 planets by verse number 40 and 41. So he is saying sun god, the sun planet, he got ownership of the big trees like Sarvan and Suryaputra, Sanidev, Saturn. He got ownership of the Durbha Gana, means those trees who are just wastage, just like a Kutsit Briksha. They are not required. Then he is talking about moon. Moon got ownership of those trees who can have milk and Dharasuta Katu Kadhana. Dharasuta means Mangal. So Mangal got ownership of those trees who got thrones, who got Katu like lemon tree. And he is telling about Bhrigu Putro, means Venus, Pushpa Vriksham. So those trees, those plants having flowers got ownership of the Venus. And Guru Gyo Safala Falau. So those plants who got a fruit comes under the lordship of Jupiter. And again Sanidev in the consideration. Need Sana Surya Putrasya. So those trees who are needus, who has no ras, come under the lordship of Saturn. So he is saying, Geya Khaga Dujaha. So hey Duj, hey Brahman, you should know planets ownership on different types of plants and trees in this fashion. So now we got more understanding through these two verses how planets are governing plants and trees around us. When we look around us, when we see different types of planets and trees, so we can understand how they are connected with the planets. So now planets are coming into our life, in our day-to-day life. So how beautifully he has connected these things. It's a fascinating, and we are fortunate, we are witnessing the great discussion between the two great souls. Now he has initially left behind Rahu and Ketu. Now in the next verse he will explain about Rahu and Ketu's caste also. So in 42 verse he is explaining about Rahu and Ketu. To Maitre. So he is saying, Maharshi Parashara is saying, Rahusta Chandal Jatischa Ketur Jatya Antarstatha Sikhi Swar Bhanur Mandanam Balmikam Asthana Muchyate. So he is saying Rahu is of the Chandal Jati, Chandal, outcast, and the Ketu belongs to the Sankar Jati. So Sankar Jati, what is Sankar Jati? That is the high breed. Bhagwan explained about the Varn Sankar when he was explaining about the deterioration and decline of the Kul Dharma in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So he explained very beautifully about the Varn Sankar. So that Sankar, that high breed, that cross breed, these are considered as the Jati of Ketu. Now he is going to tell us where these two resides. So about the Asthan. So he is saying not only about the Rahu and Ketu, he take Saturn also. So he is saying Sikhi Swar Bhanur Mandana. So Mand, Saturn's name is Mand also. We called him Mand. Mand means slow. And the Sani means slow, Sanechya. So who can walk slowly? Mand means slowly. So Mand is also Saturn's name. So he is saying Rahu, Ketu and Saturn. Sikhi Swarabhanu Manda. Sikhi Ketu, Swarabhanur here for Rahu, and Mand here for Saturn. They reside in Balmik. So what is Balmik? When termite, the Dimak, is making some space, some place. So that hole is called Balmik. And usually, snakes they are not making their own place of living. When they find any Balmik made by these Dimak termite, they then just go and live there. So don't forget this Rahu and Ketu. They are also called, this Rahu is called Phanindra also. So you can understand like the behavior, how that behavior living in Balmik is connected with his character, his attribute of the Phanindra. So what Parasarji is saying, what Parasarji is explaining is not by accident. It's the realized truth of the realized soul. So we have to very carefully watch and understand this discourse, because this is the ocean of knowledge, and if we are very sincere, we can extract something out of it if we are blessed. So he is explaining more about Rahu and the Ketu in verse 43. Chitrakantha Phanindrasya Ketvasya Chidrayuto Dvija Sisam Rahur Nilmaniha Ketur Geyo Dvija Uttamam. He's saying, Hey Dvijuttam. Many times he called Maharishi Maitreya Dvijuttam. He is the best of the best Brahman. Many times he motivated and explained about his qualification, highly qualified, how highly qualified his student is to get into this divine and difficult and mystical science. So he is saying, Hey Dvijuttam, this Phanindra. So now he is saying Rahu as a Phanindra. So he is saying Phanindra love to have Vichitra, like Chitra, like colorful cloth. And Ketu, Chidrayuto, so the cloth having hole, that is for the Ketu. And the ownership, now he is talking about the ownership. So Rahu got laid on the Ketu. He is saying about the Ketu, he is saying Nila Maniha. So that's a cat's eye. And now he is talking about the other planets on the ownership in the next verses. Guruha Pitambaram Vipra Bhrigoha Chomam Tathaivacha Rakta Chomam Bhaskarasya Indabo Chomam Sitam Tuja. So he is talking about here cloths of the planets, because planets are in the fully personified form. So about the Jupiter, he is saying Pitambara, yellow clothes. And about the Venus, he is saying about the Venus, he is saying Patavastra. It means he is a guru, he is a Rajasic, he is the Rajasic planet. We have already listened about being Rajasic planet of Venus and Mercury. So being a Rajasic planet and being a guru, he loved to have this Patavastra. And sun got Rakt Pat. Raktpat means that the blood is red, so that color cloth. And the moon got the white color cloth. And the Mercury Buddhasya Krishna Chamam. So Mercury got Krishna Varn cloth, means black cloth. Mercury got black cloth. And the Mangaldev you can guess very easily, like that's Rakt Vastram Kujasya Cha. So he got also like sun, that the red, blood is red color cloth. And then our Sunny Dev is coming. So Sunny Dev got like Rahu, Chitra, and so he is saying Chitra or Pat. So Chitram Sanir Vipra Pat Vastram Tathaivicha. So that is for the Sunny Dev. So he explained about the clothes of the different planets. So now planets are fully equipped in the personified form. Their attributes are being discussed. Their nature, characters, forms are discussed. Now planets are very ready so that we could understand them. Now Parashara is going to tell more about the planets, how they are getting ownership of the ritus. We got six ritus. So now Parashara is explaining in this next verse. Bhrigor ritu basantascha kujbhanavoscha krisamakaha chandrasya varsa vigyaha sarascha chaiva tathavida hemanto api gururgeya saniye astu sisiro dvija Astau masascha swarvano keto masastrayam dvija. So he is saying this Venus, Sukradev, got ownership on the Vasant. It's a very obvious. Sukradev getting spring, Vasant, and the Mangaldev, the Mars, and he is allocating Sun also. So Mars and Sun both sharing the ownership of the Grishma, of the summer. Because there are 6 ritus and we got 7 planets here. So that's why for Grishma Ritu, king and commander of the king, Sun and Mars are sharing the ownership of the Grishma Ritu, summer season. And then obviously moon got Varsa, rain because of water. And Mercury, the Yuvraj, Prince Mercury got Sarada Ritu. And the Jupiter is getting, Gurudev is getting Hemanta Ritu, Hemanto api gururgeya. And the Sunny Dev is the owner of Sisya Ritu. So ownership has been allocated, Ritu's ownership has been allocated to the planets. Rahu and Ketu has no ownership on the Ritus, but in the last line of the 47 verse, he is allocating the time on the month time on the Rahu and Ketu. So he is saying Astau Masascha Swarabhanu. So Rahu got 8 months, and Ketur Mas Trayam Duja, so 3 months. So he got 8 months and he got 3 months, that 11 months being allocated. Now he is giving more detail on the ownership, on the lordship of dhatus and mool and the jeev. So he categorized in 3 types for giving ownership. So jeev, we understand we are the jivas. And then mool. So mool, which is come out from under the ground, in sense of vegetable or fruit, and which is come under the ground like dhatu, like. So now he is talking about this. These are ownership in the next verse. So he is saying in 48 verse, Rahur Pangu Chandrascha Vigyaya Dhatu Khechara Mool Grahau Surya Sukrau Aparajiv Sangaka. So he is saying like Rahu and Mangal and Saturn and Chandrama, moon. So here he is referring Saturn. He is very. I'm just highlighting that one so that you can understand, his level of depth. Like he is referring Saturn as a Pangu. So Rahu. So here, so Rahu Ra Pangu Chandrascha. So he is saying Rahu, Mangal, Sani and Chandrama. If you can do here Sandhi Viched, then you can find these all 4 planets he is referring. So he is saying to Maitre, Vigyaya Dhatu Khechara. We use this term a lot. That is for the planets. Kha means Akas. Chara means who can wander in the sky. So who can wander in the sky? So planets can wander in the sky. That's why it is Khechara. So these are the adhipati of the dhatus. And then he is saying Mool Grahu Surya Sukrau, and on the mool Sun and Venus got ownership. And on the jeev, who are the adhipati of the jeev? Who is the lord of the jeev? They are the Buddha, Guru and the Ketu. They got adhipati of the jeev. Now he is shedding some more light on Saturn in 49 verse, giving more glimpses, more attributes about the Saturn to increase understanding on the Saturn. So he is saying, Grahesu mando briddho asti ayur briddhi pradayakah naisargike bahu saman dadati dvijuttama. So he is giving the good aspect of Saturn also. There is not only everything bad about any planet. So he is giving the positive aspect of Saturn here in this verse. He is saying Saturn is the gist, is the breath among all the planets. So Saturn is the eldest among all of the planet, having more eyes, having more age, more ayu, more experience. And in his natural dasa, he is providing ayu, the life. He is the life giver. So he is saying, Naisargike bahu saman dadati ayur briddhi pradayakaha. So he is ayur briddhi pradayakaha in his natural dasa. So Saturn is not all about bad all the time. So this is main discussion about the Graha Guna Swarupa Adhyaya, about the attributes, forms and characteristics of the planets, and who are the owner of the planets, lords of the planets, how these planets got lordship, and then how these planets are coming into the life and they are taking lordship of the different aspects of the life. So this is the how integrated our divine science is. Each and every aspects of the life is integrated. All the whatever we can see around, they got a lordship of any of the planets. So how this science is integrated in our life, in our day-to-day life. So this understanding we have received. And in the next episode, when we will deal with planets more, then he will tell about the how planet will interact with the rasis, because with the zodiac signs, because they are the celestial wanderer. They are just moving, they are just wandering, they are seeing nakshatras one by one. They are going in one zodiac sign and other zodiac sign, then how they are feeling in different places. So that Parashara will discuss in the next episode with Maitreya, and we will witness that one. So before getting into that much detail with Parashara, just giving you some conclusive thought points when Parashara was saying how you will do the study, what is the best method. So he just tell about how to do. Then he was talking about any astrologer or any knowledgeful person who has knowledge of this science can use a paddhati from Drig Ganitakya. So, and then you have to think about you have to do the Asput Graha Sadhana. So we have discussed about the Asput Dasa and the Aspast Disa. We have discussed that in the last episode. So then the problem is, in India there is no functional observatory at the moment, and we are not able to, or we are not applying this ancient paddhati, ancient method of the Graha Sadhan in any of the observatory. I don't have any idea if in any of the observatory we are using these methods. So nowadays we are getting the data from the Europeans, from the observatory of the Europe, that I'm talking about the ephemeris, and from that we are utilizing that Sayana system data by doing Ayanamsa correction to making them our Nirjana values, and then we are doing. Our system is called Nirjana system and Western system is called Sayana system. So actually here we are dealing with the Parashara Hora Shastra. That's the Hora. So I'm not going into detail of the Siddhanta. When I will do the series for the Siddhanta, then we'll go in more detail about the Siddhanta. So basically that has to be clarified here. So most of the paddhatis like Graha Laghava Paddhati or Makaranda Sarani or Ketaki Jyotir Ganita Sadhan Paddhati, so these are the methods. And utilizing these methods, people are creating Panchang, and then through that Panchang, any astrologer or any Pandit of this subject is doing the Drik Ganita Sadhan, Grah Sadhan, and from that they are understanding the transits, they are understanding the behavior through the current positional point of the different planets. So in this fashion we are adopting the instruction of great Guru Maharshi Parashara. So we are using this Ketaki Jyotirganit and utilizing that Panchang, Visvijay Panchang, and for ephemeris we are using at present I am using Lahari's one. So after giving this information, I would like to think about this the application of this personification of the grahas. So why we did this personification, what is the utilization? So we have discussed so many times. Now the application, I just want to discuss the application in a very high level overview fashion, following the style of Maharshi Parashara only. So if you can prima facie see the chart of any ascendant, any native, so any planet who is in the ascendant or who is aspecting the ascendant, who has influence on the ascendant, then that native will have the character, the form, the attributes related to that planet. So that is a very good tool in your hand now. The second tool, the basic tool, is very quickly you can understand from the birth chart which planets are strong. And if planets are strong in the birth chart, so whenever there will be dasa is coming of those planets, or native is going in that disa, in that direction, in planets, in the direction of that planet, so he will get benefit. And the opposite is also true. So if the planets are big, So in the dasa of those big planets and in the disha of those big planets, native will get lost. So these are the two very small techniques, because we are here analyzing, understanding the discourse, and from that discourse we can get something out of it. So Jai Sambhu, in the next episode we will go into the more and more detail with Maharshi Parashar. So thank you very much. In the end, I will pray for you. So Vande Deva Umapatim Surgurum Vande Jagat Karanam Vande Pannaga Bhusanam Mrigdharam Chavardam Vande Pasunam Patim Vande Surya Sasank Vahaninayanam Vande Mukunda Priyam Vande Bhakti Janasraye Chavardam Vande Shivam Sankaram Vande Shivam Sankaram Vande Shivam Sankaram. Jai Gurudev. Har Har Mahadev.